Hi, I'm Steven.
And I'm Shelby.
And we are the Armchair Emperor. It's been a while since we brought you guys any YouTube content. Hopefully you guys will have seen our latest 8th edition 40K video before this comes out, and a couple of little treats besides. But honestly, the most positive feedback we've gotten so far has been on our Age of Napoleon series, in which we play Osprey Publishing's Chosen Men, which is intended to be a skirmish game for about 30mm miniatures. Now, I have a huge collection of 54mm plastic toy soldiers, as I'm sure many of you do, and I was inspired by a number of articles in a few different publications about what to do with all these 54mm toy soldiers, and you'll hear a lot that they're too big to game with. The answer is just simply wrong. So now people do wargame with 54mm soldiers, and they do it all the time, and Chosen Men, we found, offers a great set of rules for this. We started off with just a general, a cavalry unit, and 2 or 3 infantry units on each side, and we worked our way up to full armies. And we find that there's still a lot of nuance, a lot of tactical decisions to be made on the board. The board does get crowded, but you just have to keep your games to a certain size or increase the size of the board. Today we will be playing on a standard 6x4. We've painted up some new miniatures, which we're going to showcase shortly, and we've set up a board with some new terrain. Shelby's been going over the rules so that we're a little more accurate this time.
And if you haven't seen our previous videos, go ahead and check those out. We have 3 other Chosen Men videos. This will be our 4th that we're bringing to you. And we're going to play things a little differently. We have some objectives this game instead of just earning victory points for killing units. And we've, like Steven said, we've gone over some more of the rules. So we're going to try to use some more tactics that are given in the book to make the game a little bit more dynamic. Even more so than you probably have seen in our previous videos.
And we're excited to see more people get out there and start playing this game. We've seen in the comments that some of you guys have bought the rulebook. That's awesome. We'd love to see either pictures or videos of your guys' games. So
that'd be great.
That would be awesome. A great way to contact us is we actually have a website. It's our own URL. It's www.armchairemperor.com. Or you can contact us via email, armchairemperor@gmail.com.
And we also have an Instagram with the same handle, @armchairemperor.
And Facebook as well. So we are multimedia these days. We've gone out of our caves and into the modern world. We've got all kinds of all kinds of media outlets where you guys can find us and find great content. So I hope you guys look us up on some of our other social media sites and on our website. The website will be under construction for a little while, actually, but that shouldn't bother anybody. You should still be able to visit while it's under construction. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, without any further preamble, I'm going to show you guys the armies and the board and what's new.
All right, let's get into it.
Okay, guys. So we have something a little different for you today. Usual 6x4 board, same mat and everything else. A lot of similar terrain. But we've brought this windmill out of retirement, which is going to play a major part in the battle. That's going to be one of the Allies' objectives. It's going to be worth 6, count them up, 6 victory points. Both sides flag, meaning their big flag. In this case, we have the British Union Jack inside the English redoubt, and the French tricolor inside the French redoubt. Each one of those is going to be worth 3 points. There are 3 ammunition crates, fairly equidistant in the middle of the table. 1, 2, and 3. The ammunition crates are each going to be worth 2 points. And the Allies have that one large objective. The French have 2 smaller objectives, the 2 farmhouses, each being worth 3 points apiece. Every enemy unit destroyed, meaning broken, fleeing, fled off the table, or is to combat by the end of the game, is going to be worth 1 point per unit. We're just making it very simple. And capturing or killing the enemy general is going to be worth 2 points. So we've simplified the scoring system, and we're going to keep track on these D20s as we go along, so that we don't forget who scored what as we go along. So we've rolled off for who gets the initiative on the first activation. It's going to be the French, and we've rolled off for our pre-game Cauldron of War strategies. Mine is that I can choose to put one of Shelby's units in ongoing reserve, and I have to do that immediately. So Shelby, what's your Cauldron of War?
My Cauldron of War strategy is that it's rapid redeployment. So before any one takes a turn, I get to move D3 of my units forward.
So you can move D3 of your units at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Great. Cool. So we have some new units on the board today. Starting on the French left, the Allied right, we have in the yellow and blue, that's the Eisenborg Regiment. They were a German regiment in French service. To the left of them, we have in the white coats with the green facings, green plumes, that's the Joseph Bonaparte Regiment. That's King Joseph of Spain's personal regiment that he raised from some French and some Spanish. There were Spanish who fought for the French. The general you guys are used to seeing on the horse, he is a colonel of the Empress's Dragoons, pistol, carbine, saber. Then we have the Carbineers. Of course, they have carbines, pistols, sabers, and they have the Cuirassier upgrade. We have a medium cannon with 3 crew, and then we have the Bavarian, or rather the Württemberg line infantry. All of these specialist units that I'm naming thus far are just going to count as French line infantry. Now this is where it gets interesting. Of course, you guys know the Swiss. There were 10, now there's 20 of them. They have their own rules and their grenadiers making them elite. Then we have the Württemberg Jaegers in the olive green all the way at the end of the French line. They are going to be light infantry and count as voltigeurs, meaning that they can move through cover. So that means on a 4+, they treat difficult ground or broken ground as regular ground. So now we'll go through the Allied deployment. So over here we have a new unit. These guys are from Armies in Plastic. They're the same cast as the 95th Rifles. They're just in gray. They're called the King's German Legion Riflemen. Now, in actuality, the King's German Legion wore green, the exact same as the 95th Rifles. But in the depot, meaning during training, they wore an all-gray uniform. So we're going to say that these guys had to get rushed out to the field, and they're in their gray training uniforms. Of course, we have Sharp and Harper with the 95th, a full 10-man unit. Then we have some more new units. These are a mix of classic toy soldiers and Marx recasts. They're Mexicans. We're using them as Spanish line infantry from General de Murillo's division. We have Shelby's commander, also a colonel on a horse with a saber, pistols, carbine. We have a Portuguese medium cannon, 10-man unit of British light infantry, all matching, all by a call to arms. Then we have this sort of hodgepodge of painted miniatures from different companies here. These really nicely painted Highland light infantry are from King and Country. These are some old school original Britannies. And then these guys are by a company called Blue Box. And there were just 9 of them, so we dragooned in the Duke of Wellington to just act as a captain today of that unit. We have our 10 Spanish Grenadiers. They're from a company called Rienza. They're actually a Spanish company. And their sergeant will be whoever Shelby chooses because they don't have a
Proper.
yeah, but like an odd-looking model. We have Don Sanchez as Lancers, and we didn't realize, but you can actually make the leader of this unit the actual guerrilla character, Don Sanchez. So we're
Very cool.
The guy with the sword is going to be the special character.
Yay.
So hopefully that'll do them good, and they'll start off the game in cover. So this is the game we have set up for you guys tonight, and hopefully you'll enjoy it.
So we're going to go ahead and go over our command traits and also our strategies, which if you remember, strategies are just once per game, and your command trait is something that you have throughout the entire game. So for me, my strategy is called Up and Atom. So infantry within 6 units can, within 6 inches, can declare a charge. They can gain D3 to their charge, and if they're successful, then they get to add +1 to their melee. And my command trait is inspirational. I get to add, instead of 6 inches to be able to use, for units within 6 inches to be able to use my command value, it's 12 inches.
Alright, and I'm going to take the same combo that I always take. He's going to be attached to this unit right here, and he's going to have Cavalry Officer and Bloodthirsty, giving him and his unit +2 to their movement base, so they're going to be base movement 12 and they add D3 to their charge range.
Nice.
Okay, so I've attached my general to a unit. Would you like to attach your general to a unit as well?
No, he's going to be without a unit.
Okay, so then I will open up having the first initiative. I'm going to use my Cauldron of War, which is where I can push any unit into ongoing reserves. I'm going to push the 95th Rifles into ongoing reserves. They'll show up at the beginning of next turn.
Okay.
So we're just going to take those off the table. Just for now. They got lost.
They come in next round.
Yeah, they come in at the beginning
of next turn.
And they can move directly onto the table using a move. But they can't move at the double onto the table.
No.
So they got delayed. They're lost somewhere over the hills and far away. So, next.
I can also use my Cauldron of War, which is... So I'm going to go ahead and use my Cauldron of War strategy, which is where I get to move D3 of my units, and I get to move them D6 inches.
Alright, so first you roll a D3 and then you roll D6 for each unit.
So I get to move...
Two. Two units. So pick which two units you want to move.
I'm going to move the bigger blob of the Spanish.
So we should mention that there's a unit of 20 and a unit of 10.
10, yeah.
Alright, so they get to move D6 inches. Roll up a D6 for them. They get to move 2 inches.
So we'll say that's like there.
Sure. Okay, so the 20-man unit of Spanish regulars has moved up there 2 inches. Alright, who's your next unit? You get to move 1 more.
I'm going to also use my Lancers.
Alright, roll up a D6. They're going to move a whopping 1 inch. They really don't want to leave that cover. And they just get to dirtle up a little bit through the woods. Alright, so we've both used our Cauldron of War strategies. Shelby getting a couple of free moves there. Few free inches, start to slog up that long slope. And I've put the 95th into ongoing reserve. On to regular activations. So I'm going to try and plant a cannonball in the British Light Infantry, the mixed unit. I am going to use all 4 of my accuracy dice. I get 4d6 plus 8 for a medium cannon. So we've got 8, 9, 10, 11, and that's going to be 16 plus 8 is
24.
24. So we're going to shoot 24 inches. I don't know if that is going to do it. Let's see if it cuts it, guys. We might have to get him on a bounce. Yeah, we're just going to land right here. And we're going to see if we can bounce. Okay, we bounce 2d6 inches. And that's going to be more than enough to get a graze through this unit. It'll just be this unit. Okay, so a graze is d3 plus 1. That's going to be 3. Plus 1 is 4. So 4 killed out of my target unit. And that will be my first activation.
Alright, moving on to my activation, I'm going to go ahead and shoot this unit. They can shoot because that movement that I just took doesn't count as a movement.
Right. So
I'm going to go ahead and shoot them. I have 20 of them. And we're going to be shooting into your blue guys.
Alright, so you have 18 shots minus the officer and the flag bearer.
Okay.
So Shelby's got a couple of things going for her here. She's got the opening volley special rule, which is going to bring her down from 5s to 4s, and she's going to expand an extra tactical point to make it an aimed shot, which is going to bring it down to 3s. So, those Eisenbergers are not looking so good. 1s and 2s get removed. Alright, that's about average. You were going to wound them on 3s, because we have a resilience or a defense 3. So 2s and 1s going away again.
Nice.
And I'm going to get a 6+ save for being behind light cover. Alright, boys, duck real good. Alright, didn't duck that good. That's going to be probably like half the unit. So 6, 9. Yep, 9. Just going to take my drummers and this guy here. Alright, 9 casualties. That is a very good opening move by the Allies. Alright, so for the Eisenberg Regiment, it's D6 plus the command value of the captain, which is 3, and I'm trying to make a 7. So that'll do it. They are holding. Brave boys, good boys. All right, that's what line infantry do. They stand there and get shot, and they hopefully don't run. All right, so let me just check some ranges here. Unfortunately, my officer's all the way over here, putting me out of range. These guys could fire a retaliatory shot, but they're not going to. Let's move over to the other side of the battlefield. We are going to begin our sweeping advance. Forward the Swiss. At the double, so normally 6 plus d6. All right, so 10 inches, a whopping 10 inches. That'll get them way up the field, measuring from the officer on the corner, putting them up on this ridge line. Excellent. Now all right, so the Swiss moved up at the double. Now, on to Allied activation.
Okay, we're gonna do artillery.
Artillery. So we have a Portuguese medium cannon. Same capabilities as mine. So you have a standard range of 8, and you can roll up to 4 dice to get that towards your target.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to get your cavalry.
Okay.
I'm going to roll a 4.
Yeah, you're going to want to at this distance.
Ooh.
Good roll. So that's 12, 13...
18.
18, okay.
18 plus 8.
Yep. So Shelby rolled 18. And then she gets 8 on top of that, so she's going to go 26, landing
so close.
Right in front of the target. You're going to get a graze marker right there. Okay, now you're going to bounce 2d6, and you're going to graze them. So that's going to be d3 plus 1 wounds.
So 4, yeah, that hits. Okay. D3 plus. So we get
2. It's enough to kill 1. Alrighty then. But every one of those guys that you kill is it's a big difference later on when it comes to combat. All right, so now we are going to go ahead and continue our slog up the flank over here with the Württemberg Jägers. They are going to move at the double, moving an extra 5 inches, and let's see if they can move through that cover without any penalty on a 4+. Nope. So their move is going to be 6 plus 5. It's going to be 11, so it's going to be 5.5.
Okay.
Okay, we've got a nice tight formation on the ridge line here. All right, Allied activation.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and shoot. These guys are...
They're Spanish Grenadiers.
Okay, they have muskets, which are 18. Let's see if we are in range.
So he's going to be your officer on the corner there. So you are in range.
Okay.
So there's 10 in the unit.
But since the back rank isn't in range...
Actually, in this game...
it's from the leader. That's
it's from
right.
the leader.
That,
yeah. So it's kind of a strange dynamic if you guys haven't seen our other videos or played the game. Everything's measured from whoever you decide the unit leader is. And so if the unit leader, the sergeant, the officer can see, everyone can see. And the same thing with range. If he's in range, everyone's in range. So normally hitting on 5s.
I'm going to spend an extra tactical point because they have 3 total. Shooting is 2 to make it aim, so it's going to go down to 4s.
All right. Don't they also get opening volley for it being their first time to shoot?
No, it's only the first on the board.
Oh, I didn't realize. Okay.
Yeah, first on the board because it represents the smoke.
Okay, very good. So 4s to hit. It will be.
Ouch.
You got a 5 in there.
2.
3s to wound.
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay, well, they need to practice a little bit. That's all right.
All right, your turn.
All right, we're going to move at the double for the Württemberg line infantry, which are these guys in the crested helmets back here next to the tricolor and their officer in the front. Well, and that little guy there that you see in front with the white plume, I'll get a little closer, is one of the first toy soldiers my grandfather ever painted for me.
Aww.
And now he's here on the battlefield. So let's roll up that d6 and see how far he goes. All right. At the double, +1, so it's going to be 7. Luckily, moving out of your own fortifications doesn't count as difficult terrain. So 7 from the lead man, puts him just beyond the stump.
Goop.
Yeah, so I'm trying to scoop up this little objective here. I'm sending quite a heavy force for a 2-point objective, but in my experience with my rolling, I kind of need to. I need to bring a hammer to smash a tiny pane of glass. So we're going to go ahead and use the hammer tactic. So, all right, Allied activation. Okay.
Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and move my smaller unit of Spanish to try and get up in the center of the field.
All right, there's an
They're
objective.
gonna try to move at the double, so I'm gonna roll. They're gonna go 10, 11 inches. Yes, I can do math. Okay, nice.
Very cool. So that's where the unit's going to land. Okay, so this unit of Spanish regulars has moved up and dug in, and they are within scoring range of that objective. Very good. So now on to Imperial activation. All right, the Imperials are going to try their luck with a pot shot at that unit. This is going to be Spanish firing on Spanish.
Uh-oh.
I know, so let's see if Joseph's hired mercenary Spanish are just as good as the ones fighting for their freedom. So I have 20 in that unit, minus the 2 drummers and minus the officer with the pistol, so it's going to be 17 shots. All right, we're going to aim them because they don't plan on moving or doing anything else. So, force. Let's have a look at what we've got here. Okay, it's going to be 3s to wound, but they're going to get a pesky little 6+ save for having dug in. So, pesky little save. All right, so you get
7
saves.
Alright, 6s.
Nice. Save 2.
2.
So it's going to be 5 down. All right, and they're going to have to roll a d6 plus 3, try and make a 7. So that's going to be a 6. They are going to be disordered.
Yeah, they become broken.
They're going to be broken, but they're not fleeing.
No.
So we'll turn them around and leave them in position.
Yes.
All right. So Shelby is going to activate the King's German Legion.
No.
They are just out of their 24-inch range.
So we're going to move.
Move at the double.
Yes.
You don't have to move the full distance anyway, so may as well. Roll it up. 4. There you go. So you're at 10.
Yes, sir.
Movement 10. Moving them around. Yeah. Charge. We have the bratwurst over on our side. The thing about the Napoleonic Wars, which is kind of interesting, is that there were like the states of Germany. There were so many different German states, and Hanover and Brunswick, of course, fought with the English, and many German states fought with the French and Napoleon. So here we have the Eisenberg Regiment, Germans, facing off against the King's German Legion, Germans in the Allied Army. Here we have the King Joseph Regiment, Spanish, facing off against General de Murillo's division, Spanish. Yes, so there's some very interesting incidences of sort of like what we would consider civil war, but they didn't. They just considered individual loyalties to a particular leader often more important than nationalism, although nationalism was becoming a very strong force at this time.
Yeah.
Especially
in Germany.
Especially in Germany, especially in Italy, brought to them, and then of course later on those places would have their own wars of unification and revolutions. So that little history lesson aside, I'm going to go ahead and activate a unit. I'm going to activate my unit de Eisenberg. Correct. So now that they have a better target, they're going to shoot at their fellow German countrymen. So we are going to fire off a aim shot into these 10 skirmishers. All right, so let's see, we have 3, 6, 9, 10 guys with muskets left.
Muckets?
Muckets.
Mucker.
All right, so we are aiming our shots and we're looking for 4s.
Boys.
All right, now we are going to be wounding on 3s like everybody else in this game. 3, and you're out in the open. So that's just going to be 3 guys gone. Take these 3. All right, so that's enough.
What about my invuln save?
You don't have an invuln save.
Yeah, I do.
No.
Yeah, we fight for the Emperor.
For the Emperor, that's me. All right, we're looking for that number 7. So your commander gives you +3. So that's 4. They are broken.
It's not looking so good.
Not looking so good for the Allies, but you still have reserves, and you have a lot of other good assets on board. Okay, so what's the move, Shelby?
I'm going to move my general so that he's within 12 inches of these guys so that they don't break and run away as easily.
Is he going to move into a unit and join a unit?
No.
No? Okay. You do realize that means he can be shot and charged on his own then?
I guess he could join these guys.
He's going to join the 20-man unit?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. That makes more sense. Alright, and so that is that.
Does that cost anything?
Doesn't cost anything.
Okay.
Not as far as I know. Alright, so moving on to Imperial activation. Alright, we are going to declare a charge from this unit into the fleeing troops.
Oh boy.
So we move a standard 10, we roll a d6, and we add a d3. So d6 plus 10 is 13. Well, actually, we move 12, so that's going to be 15. And then we get to add d3 to our charge move, which is going to be 1. So that's going to be 16 inches. Measured from my general, 16 inches is short.
Yes.
So do they stay there in this game or do they move up? Okay, so since we failed the charge, we're going to stop 2 inches away, which is where we landed. And that's where the unit will stay, which will provide a nice inviting target should they turn around and decide to shoot us. We do have a pretty high resilience though because of the cuirassiers. But we'll see what happens. Alright, moving on to Allied activation.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and have my British shoot at your cavalry.
The light infantry unit of 10?
Yeah.
They all 10 have muskets.
Okay.
And they're going to shoot at my carabinier. So these guys are a little bit tougher. Against shooting, they're resilience 4. So you're going to be hitting on 5s, unless you want to do an aim shot.
I'll do aim.
Aim. So hitting on 4s, wounding on 4s. And they've got 2 wounds apiece.
Three.
3, alright. I'm going to take 3 6-up saves for being behind terrain. I'm not going to make any of them, so that's going to be 1 dead and 1 wounded with 1 wound left. Alright, every trick in the book, and they still got 1 down and they got a wound on 1. Getting picked away. Alright, I actually have no further units to activate, so you may activate your remaining units.
Yes. Okay. Now I'm going to shoot with these guys.
Okay, who are they firing at?
I'm going to see if I can make them.
Their officer is the blue cape in the middle. They have a 16-inch range.
No.
Check against the Swiss.
Wait, I thought muskets were 18, not 16.
Muskets are 18, you're right, you're right.
Lies and trickery. I still can't make it, though.
Lies and trickery. Alright, the Swiss have seemed much closer.
The Swiss?
The red.
No, not that. No, they're further.
Where are they now?
Yes.
How about the blue, the
They're
Württemberg?
further.
Alright, whatever you say, boss. So, do they want to move? Move at the double?
I think... No, he moved, so he can't shoot. You can't shoot pistols and move. No.
Yes, actually, you can
Oh, you
fire
can.
on the move.
Oh, okay. It's
So,
8?
Yep, it's an 8-inch range.
Nope.
Yes, yeah, you got it.
Yeah?
So, go ahead and fire. He hits on a 5. Nope, okay. So, that unit...
We're gonna move... No, I don't think we should move, actually.
So they're going to pass on activation this turn?
We're gonna hold... Oh, yeah, that doesn't carry over.
Doesn't carry over till next turn, and I'm all out of moves.
Okay, we
Don't overthink it.
are gonna move forward. 6.
Great. Those King and Country models are just lovely.
Yeah, it's cool.
They really are beautifully hand-painted. Alright, you skipped your activation on your Lancers.
Okay.
Or rather, you passed over it.
Yeah.
Do they want to do anything? Or they're just going to hang out till next turn? They can shoot. They have...
They also have... But they only have 8 inches.
They have carbines, so they can
12.
shoot 16, I
Oh,
think.
16.
Let's check it. Alright, so Don Sanchez's guerrilla lancers are going to move from cover to cover, moving from those woods to those woods, retaining
We
their
don't
save.
knock them over.
Yeah, they're rotten trees. So the situation at the end of the first turn is we have on this flank Imperial infantry coming down and Allied cavalry and light infantry moving up to meet them. We have some Allied units which are broken, which do get a chance to rally. We'll do that momentarily. And the French, having taken some fairly heavy casualties on this flank, got it pretty easy for the rest of the turn. So, first off, let's try and rally. Rallying the Spanish using the leadership 5 of your general, you got them. They're going to turn around. These guys, they get d6 plus 3, they rally as well.
Yay!
Alright, both units turning around and rejoining the fight. Wellington famously said, "I don't mind soldiers running as long as they come back."
Woohoo!
He said that about his Dutch allies at the Battle of Waterloo.
Alright, so since Steve and I did initiative last turn, now it's my initiative, I get to go first. So I'm going to make a charge with my Don Sanchez Duders.
Don Sanchez Guerrilla Lancers. Viva España!
So they move 10, and we're going to add and
D6.
see if they can make a charge into your
Württemberg Infantry.
Württemberg.
They should make it with a 13. From Don Sanchez himself, the leader with the sword.
Yes.
They do, alright.
Alright. What are you going to do?
Alright, we're going to do something very similar. We're going to do a
I was afraid of that.
cavalry charge into the mini unit. Yeah, we're in.
Yep.
So, that's just basically to stop them from getting shot. That unit was done anyway.
You
So,
didn't know that.
oh, I think so. Alright, Allied activation.
Can you shoot into combat?
Nope,
No, okay.
not in this game. Only in Age of Sigmar. And now 40k with pistols. Alright. So, what's up next for the Allies? A cannon shot, perhaps? Another charge? A move at the double? Or do you want to bring the 95th in?
We're going to do a cannon.
Kanonen!
We're going to try to get these guys.
Alright, so you're assuming you're going to use all 4d6?
Yeah.
Plus 8. So you're going to have 10, 14, 15, 16, 17, plus 8. Alright, so Shelby rolled and she got a 25. 4d6 plus 8. Is that a direct hit?
I don't know if that's a direct hit.
It has to touch a model in the unit. Remeasure, please. Maybe you have a direct hit. Don't cheat yourself. Let's see. Where does that 25
No,
land? Nope,
it's
it's
right
just in
before.
front. Okay. A graze is still good. You could roll anything, so you don't even need to bother rolling. And
Well, I will.
the unit will be grazed. Alright, the unit's grazed. It's going to be D3 plus 1 casualties.
2.
2 casualties. Alright, I'm going to take my drummers because they don't shoot. Alright, so now we are on to Imperial activation. Okay, so on to Imperial activation.
I was really hoping that cannon would have done better, but
Yeah, neither one of our artillery pieces really wants to
cooperate.
cooperate today. The Swiss are going to fire obliquely at this unit. They have not moved or done anything else, so they can do an aim shot. There's going to be 18 muskets in that unit. Alright, so this Swiss unit is going to incline to the right and try and do some damage to this light infantry unit, if not wipe it out. Hitting on 4s for aimed. The Swiss were supposed to be very good soldiers in both Spain and Russian campaigns. They did very well. Let's see how they do in Toy Soldiers. 3 ups. Not
Three ups.
Not so good, boys.
Oh.
Alright, so
How
7,
is that not good?
7 saves, all percentage-wise. 7 saves, a 6 up for the Allies for being behind
Because we're
trees.
trees.
Because of your special trees. And that's going to be
2
5.
save.
So that's everybody but the officer.
Officer.
So he will take a panic check on his own leadership of 3. So he's fine.
Yay.
He's loving it.
It's Wellington.
It's Wellington.
Yes.
Quiet.
Yes.
Alright, Allied activation.
Okay, we're gonna shoot with the rifles into the water. Wait, what are those guys?
Those guys are Eisenberg.
Eisenberg.
So you've got 5 rifles. They normally
And one chosen man.
and one chosen man.
Oh no, they're not 95th. 1, 2.
You can have a chosen man.
You?
So does he want to target one of my officer?
Yeah.
So roll one separately then.
Okay, I'll just do him as green.
So now normally they hit on 4s. They're aimed.
Yeah.
So 3s. Some drop dice going on. All right, you got 2 hits.
Oh boy.
Wounding on 3s. Both wounded, and I'm going to take my 6-up saves. And the officer saved, the common man dies. As is proper in the Imperial Army.
Papa.
So, now, on to Imperial activation. We are going to go ahead and move at the double to try and grab this objective with the Württemberg Jaegers. They're going to go ahead and move 8 inches. That should grab it. Okay, they have one more tack, so they're going to dig in.
Nice.
Give themselves a nice 6+ save out in the open there. Brought some sandbags with them.
Nice.
All right.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and shoot with our Spanish here.
The 20-man unit?
Yep.
What's their target?
Right here.
Okay, and they could hit before, so they can hit again. We don't need to measure. They haven't taken any casualties, so they have an 18-shot volley going on. They haven't moved, so they can do aim shots.
Yes. 4s, then?
4s then. Let's see this roll. 50-50 chance of hitting. This is slightly above average. Quite a bit above average. There you go. Wounding on 3s.
Yes.
Glide. Alright. 1s and 2s go away. Leave the rest for me. Some 6s will save a couple.
2.
2, and that might be the rest of the unit. Let's see. 10. Let's see. Just the officer remaining.
No, I think that's everything.
That is everybody. You're right. It's everybody. All right.
Yes.
Unit deleted.
Unit destroyed. I get
1 victory point for the Allies.
1 victory point.
Very good. Okay, so
Yay!
we have a little
Nice big hole.
Allied victory here. A nice big hole on this side. The Spanish will have to move obliquely to fill in that gap because this is a big objective for us. Actually, though, if they wait, somebody might move closer to them
And then they'll shoot him.
and they'll shoot him, but I don't think that'll happen. All right, we're just going to move on to our cannon then, I suppose.
Kanonen.
It's Kanonen. So, le canon.
Le canon.
So the cannon's going to shoot at this unit of light infantry here. All right, we're going to add all 4d6. That might not make it anywhere. Let's see. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19,
24.
20, 21, 22. 22 inches. Let's see. From the barrel, 22 inches. Lands me here. All right, I'm pretty far away, but I got a 2d6 bounce. 4 inches is not going to make it. That's going to put us about here. So, huzzah for the English. All right, Redcoats, your turn.
We're going to shoot with these guys.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
10 shots.
Yeah.
Normally hitting on 5s. Want to make it aimed?
Yes.
Make it on 4s.
Into there.
Into the Württemberg Jäger. Jägermeister. Oi, oi, oi. 4s to hit. 3s to wound. Alright, so that's going to be 5. Saves 6 up. For our little sandbags.
4.
So that will be a quarter of the unit.
Yay.
Or,
Get off my objective.
let's see. 3 plus 2 is 5. No, they are broken. So they're just we're gonna turn the bugler and a couple of these guys in the back around to show that they're broken. All right. So moving on to the Imperial activation. Can I shoot my own guys? No, I don't want to do that. So we are going to go ahead and move these Spanish at the double. So these Spaniards are going to move at the double. So plus 4, that gives them a full 10 inches. Plenty of room to spread out and do what I want them to do, which is basically to cover this gap in skirmish order, stringing out a line, putting the officer in the center. So that, and they're digging in. All right, that's all they're doing for this turn. On to Allied activation.
Okay. How do I bring in the...
They make a standard move from your table edge.
Okay. I'm going to do that.
And that's all they can do this turn.
Okay. So, where's the measure? There it is.
So wherever you find would be most tactically sound, you're going for the big 6-point objective. All right, go ahead and bring them in. and that's where they will end up. Okay, because of my Cauldron of War strategy, which was to send these guys back into ongoing reserve, they got to come in making a full move this turn, but that's all they can do. Since I'm out of activations, Shelby can finish her activations. All right,
We're going to go over here. They have muskets. We're gonna see.
They're probably out of range.
For everything, yeah. So we're gonna move it to double.
At the double, we're going to try and run up. 6.
Yay!
So they get a full 12-inch move. Ending up right in the middle of the field there.
Maybe we should do...
General changing her mind and moving them into the cover. Smart move. Okay, we're on to melee. So we have 2 melees, both charges. We have Don Sanchez's Guerrilla Lancers charging the Württemberg Line Infantry, and we have our commander and the Carbineers charging this little group of Spanish infantry over here. We'll start with the Lancers. Okay.
Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and roll for my cavalry.
So the Lancers, they rolled 3 extra strikes for their devastating charge. So they are going to get 8 strikes total. They are hitting on 4s, wounding on 2s because of their lances. And they have Hatred France, which means that they reroll 1s to damage. So reroll that 1, and you are going to kill 3 troops. Alright, so that's 3 down. And then you get secondary strikes with your pistols.
Pistols, okay.
Pistols hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s. 1. Alright, chipping away at him. Alright,
Does Don get anything special? He has a sword.
He has a saber which gives him +1 to hit.
Oh, okay.
So I guess we should have accounted that, but we'll do it next time.
Okay.
Alright, so we're going on to my counter strikes.
Cool.
Saber, and 1 for each man.
Okay.
So that's 5. And we're at 4s and 4s. It's only 1 hit.
Ooh.
1 wound. So 1 guy's down to 1. I'm going to put a green
Big green one.
marker by him. Alright, so to work out this charge, you have killed 4. You have a charge marker, which is +2. I did 1 wound, so you had 6. You now beat me by 5. I don't think that there's any way that I can stand. Let's see. Nope. So these guys are running. Do you choose to pursue or hold?
Pursue.
Pursue. Okay. Okay, so we are going to flee 2d6 inches. 10. Shelby's chosen to pursue. She has 3d6 being cavalry. So 11, you just got us. All right.
Do we also move forward that amount? Or it doesn't matter?
Okay, so Don Sanchez's Guerrilla Lancers overran my unit, and they've actually captured the French standard in the redoubt. That cannon can turn on them and fire grape shot next turn, though.
Ooh.
So this could be a very touchy situation for both sides. All right, move on to our next combat. Over here, I'm going to add d6 to my strikes. That'll be 4. So let's see. So 1 strike for each man. So that's going to be 4. Plus 4 is 8. All right. We are melee.
Hitting on 3s.
Hitting on 3s. And wounding on 3s. Because your resilience is 3. And that'll be 5 dead.
Which is the unit.
Which is the unit deleted. So we don't need to use our pistols. Okay. No accounting need be done there.
Oh.
And no overrunning either, which is probably good for you. Alright, so surveying the battlefield at the end of turn 2. This is a 5-turn game. This is turn 2, just ended. The Allies are in a very good position. They've broken through my center with their Lancers. They have some light infantry in the woods. I have little knots of troops which are doing very well around the battlefield, but unfortunately they're not mutually supportive, which everyone knows is very bad. You want to keep some kind of coherency where your units can support each other, which you have and I don't. The only unit of yours which is now unsupported is your cavalry after that spectacular charge. Now that happened a lot in history. Cavalry charged enemy infantry, broke them, ran them down,
But then they were out in the middle of nowhere.
and then they were out in the middle of nowhere.
Or, well,
Now,
enemy territory.
they were in enemy territory. Now, a really good cavalry commander knew how to pull his troops back just before that happened, but I've yet to see a game system
That can
that can replicate that. The only thing
It's too complicated.
It's too complicated. The only thing that they offer is the option not to pursue. But you really wanted to destroy that.
Yeah.
There was enough unit.
Go.
All right. So one last thing to do at the end of turn 2, we have to try and rally these guys. 4, 5, 6, 7. That'll just do it.
Yay. About first.
About face. Turn around. Run away. No. Stay. Come back.
Turn around again.
So now we're just going to move straight on to my initiative. I did move up the marker. You destroyed another unit.
Yay.
And I destroyed one unit, putting it 2 to 1. We're not going to score any of the objectives until the end of the game.
Yeah.
So the actual sees
In case we forgot to
the
specify
objectives.
that,
Yeah, so, all right, I'm going to start out by doing the obvious, which is going to be to fire a canister into this unit. It doesn't count as moving if you turn.
Yeah.
So we are going to turn,
Swivel.
our cannon around here, and then I'm going to briefly look up the rules for canister. All right, so for a medium cannon, you roll a d6 as long as the unit's within my minimum range, which is 8 inches, which they are, and I don't roll a 1. Then they take the maximum damage value, which is going to be d6 plus 2 for a direct hit. So that's going to be 5, 6, 7. So the one random is going to kill 1 off, and then 3 are going to die.
Oh, so it's just the guy, the officer.
Don Sanchez himself is alive. His unit has been turned into gory splatter all throughout this French redoubt. But even on his own, he can probably take out that entire cannon crew.
And the flag.
And capture the flag, which is actually an objective.
Alright, so I'm rolling for Don Sanchez to see if he stays or runs. So we want
D6 plus 3,
D6
trying to make a 7. So that's going to be a 6.
He's broken, but he hasn't fled yet. He's just broken.
We're just going to turn him facing back towards his own lines to symbolize that. Which at least lets him not being able to charge my cannon this turn. Alright, so now it is on to your activation. Okay, so Shelby, what's the plan?
I'm gonna use my 20-man unit here to shoot at your cavalry. I have 20 shots. I'm going to spend an extra tactical point to have them be aimed.
Alright, so 4s. You actually have you have 18. One's a standard bearer and one's a pistol. The pistol's in range, you just have to roll them separately.
Okay.
So 4s, just pick out the hits.
Oh, the hits? Okay.
There's less, whatever there's less of is what you take out. Saves time. Wounding on 4s. Okay.
4.
So that's 2 dead. Alright, now you have a pistol shot, he hits on a 5. Nope. Okay, so that's going to be a command check on my 5 for my general. So 6, that will break them. All right, nice volley, nice volley. Oh, that was a big, terrible thing happening there. All right, well, hopefully they'll rally. So on to my activations next. I think we're going to move over to the, let's see. We're going to move over to this side of the board.
Copy.
Alright, so we are going to go ahead and fire a aimed volley into this unit, giving us...
With the Swiss?
With the Swiss. Giving us 18 shots. Okay, here we go. 4s are better. And that's going to be about average or just above. Wounding on 3s. We're going to remove those, and you're going to get some 6+ saves. You're going to get 7 6+ saves for the light infantry for being in the woods. So that's 7 dead.
Dang.
3, 4, 5.
And a tree.
And a tree.
How about you take out one of the trees instead of the guys?
How about no? Alright, so now you get to roll a command check. 6, they're broken. But they may come back. Alright, on to allied activation.
Just hit the button. Okay. So I'm gonna use my cannon to shoot your guys blocking the windmill.
Alright, so into the King Joseph Spanish Regiment. Using all 4.
Yes.
Accuracy dice.
Alright. So that's 24, 5, 6, 7, 28.
28. Okay, so with the roll and everything else, you went 30. And you can call that a direct hit. So, there's no one to bounce into, so we're not going to roll the bounce.
Okay.
Medium cannon on a direct hit will do d6 plus 2 damage. So that's going to be 5.
5.
It's a quarter of the unit exactly. Okay. So that's going to cause a break check, and that's going to make them broken.
Yes.
So the Imperial Army of King Joseph of Spain is falling apart all over the field. Units are breaking left and right. It's looking grim. The year is 1813, and Wellington's big push towards Toulouse in southern France and Bayonne is coming. Pretty soon we will no longer be fighting in Spain, but fighting on the sacred soil of France itself. All right, so our action here at the foothills of the Pyrenees is going the way of the Allies. You can see we are on French activation. We'll see what we can do, but there's not much. We only have one unbroken unit unactivated, which is the Württemberg Jaegers. They will do their country proud by firing into a fleeing unit.
Yes.
So let's see how many shots we have. 5. Okay. They're aimed, so that's 2. And that's going to be 2 saves. And then, then I have a pistol.
Yes!
Wow. Pistol doesn't hit. So they just stay there. If they even took one more casualty, they'd be automatic fleeing.
Yep.
All right, that's.
But they didn't.
But they didn't. So that's the end of my activation. The Swiss fired. They fired to little effect. The cannon did its work. This unit's fleeing. All right.
So is that one.
So is that unit with the general. So Shelby has a few different units left to activate. The 95th Rifles, the King's German Legion Riflemen, the Spanish Grenadiers.
That's it.
And I believe that's it. So where are we starting?
First, we're gonna move it to double here.
The King's German Legion moving up.
So we're gonna move 12.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
So move up to the river, and then the remaining distance, they go half.
So it would just be 1.
Okay.
I'm actually just gonna leave them here because they're not gonna be able to stand on top of the river on the.
Just set up the lead man there so you know where he is.
Okay, because everyone else is gonna fall over.
That's fine. Wobbly model syndrome. It's a thing. All right, so now 95th. Gonna fire.
Yes.
These guys don't have a clear line of shot on that unit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You can move through your own units, but this is all blocking.
Got it, got it.
Get them up and relevant.
Yeah, we're gonna get them up. Get them up.
Okay, good.
Also 12.
Go grab that objective, perhaps. You can move straight through your own man.
Cool. Well, we're gonna go like this.
Go around the rough terrain. Good idea.
Yeah.
Still within 3 inches of that ammunition barrel, which is an objective. Small 2-point objective. Okay, now we're on to the Spanish Grenadiers on the Allied left, the Imperial right.
Okay, we're gonna shoot. I don't think you're dug in anymore.
No, that dug in is going to go away.
And I have...
Well, they would have dug in after they fired, so I'm going to give myself that back. So Shelby's choosing to fire her Grenadiers, Spanish Grenadiers, into the Württemberg Jaegers. I'm going to leave that dug in there because I just forgot to put it back this turn. They would have had the tacticals for it. So 10 shots, aimed I'm assuming, giving them a nice 4+. Okay, good. Wounding on 3s. España! 4. All right. Let's see what our little sandbag wall can do here. Nothing, looks like. So this unit's basically deleted even if they don't break. 6, they don't break, so they're still holding that objective for now. So normally if this was a friendly game, I was just discussing with Shelby, I would probably concede. But since we're shooting this, it's narratively interesting.
It is.
Fighting for the windmill, we have the French forces and the Imperial forces breaking, but the Allied forces also taking heavy casualties as they come up and get the objective. So it's pretty much a cinched Allied victory, but we're going to see if we can turn it around and make them pay for those objectives. All right, so we are going to try and rally some of our units. That being the last Allied activation, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and try to rally him. He's leadership 5, command 5 rather. That will rally them. We are going to go ahead and try and rally our larger unit at command 3 out of 5. That'll do it. All right, and we're going to be right back.
All right, so I'm going to try and see if I can rally Don.
Okay, Don, here we go, Donnie boy. 6, no, he keeps going. So here goes 3d6, roll 3 dice. Straight back towards your own lines, but that gives you plenty of time to rally him. So 6, 7, 8, 9. So move him 9 inches straight out of the redoubt. He looks like he's charging his own lines.
So he didn't get the flag?
Did not get the flag. Damn. You have to hold there. All right, so now you have to try and rally these guys.
Okay. Oops.
They don't rally either.
That's because I hit them.
So they run 2d6, straight back towards your own lines. 10. Right by that 5, yeah. All right, it's only a 3-man unit. You can absorb that. All right, so now we're moving on to turn 3, and it's Allied activation.
Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is going to shoot these guys into them again.
All right, sound. Unimaginative, good sound. 18 shots. And then you can fire your pistols separately. 4s, 9 shots. Remove the hits, I guess, because they didn't do so good. All right, wounding on 4s. Okay, so that's going to be
4. Just enough to kill them.
Just enough to kill them off. All right. No, actually, I think he has 3 wounds. He's down to 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, commander has 3 wounds, so shoot your pistols at him. 1 for your commander, 1 for your officer. 2 5-ups. 1 hit. Wounds on a 4. Nope. So he is down to 1 wound, but he's still alive. Okay. All right, on to Imperial activation. All right, I'm going to go ahead and activate my commander with his last wound. He's going to charge the 95th. So 12 inches plus D6 plus D3, he's in. And that just keeps him from losing his last wound to shooting. He will die anyway, but at least he'll get to go first. All right, your activation. That sound is Shelby's angry sound. All right, angry Shelby, what are we doing? What's next?
I almost used them too to shoot you instead.
Well,
but I didn't.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other. All right, what's next? Okay.
So my German Legion is going to attack Joseph Bonaparte's dudes.
Joseph Bonaparte's Spanish regiment. Okay, so we have 5 rifles here, giving aim shots. They didn't move this turn. Putting them onto 3s. 3 hits, wounding on 3s. 1 wound, I'm going to get a 6+ save, and it's not going to do it. You also have a pistol in there. He's going to hit on a solid 5 always. Nope. All right, we are going to retaliate somewhere, somehow. Not looking good.
Okay.
Okay, my Swiss red brick wall over here is going to fire into the Spanish Grenadiers, trading some long-range volleys. 18 shots. All right, we're going to make them aimed, of course. We are going to be hitting on force. That was miserable, lads. Miserable!
And they killed a tree.
And they killed a tree. Those tree killers. Alright, so 3s to wound, but luckily that was a bit better and you're out in the open. That's going to be 7 casualties. And that's going to induce a panic check. For 7, you're fine.
Yeah.
Alright, on to allied activation.
Okay.
Where are we going next? Cannon, perhaps?
Kanunen.
Cannon into the white coats.
Friends, yeah. Bonaparte.
Joseph's Spanish regiment. You're going to use all 4 accuracy dice. Alright, we have a 12, a 13.
17.
Alright, we have 17 plus 8 equals 25. And that's going to be just shy.
Kanunen.
When you hit a terrain feature, the cannonball stops. Such as a river or a wall.
Because it goes.
Yeah, the terrain feature stops the cannonball, so it doesn't do any bouncing. So you can't bounce through water or through a wall or a barricade or something like that. We've been playing it that you can go through the woods because we'll assume that the cannonball
Well, yeah,
can
we kind of
bounce through the trees or knocks them over. But that stops that, and that's very lucky for us. All right. We are going to do our next move, which is going to be the Spanish. While they still have some fight left in them, they're going to shoot at the KGL, the King's German Legion. All right, 11 musket shots into the King's German Legion. Aimed, of course. So why wouldn't we? 2 wounds, you are in cover, so 2 6+. 1 dies. And now I have a pistol from my officer.
No.
Doesn't hit. Alright, so no panic check.
No.
Alright, allied activation.
Okay, we already did them. They can't do nothing.
The Grenadiers, perhaps?
I guess so.
3 shots or a charge.
I think we're gonna shoot.
Yeah, shots are better at this point. 4 pluses.
Yeah.
Then try and walk up and take it next turn if you push them off. 1 wound. And 1 6+. Please, no. Just dead. Alright, let's see if he stays. No, he was broken. Okay. You finally may have broke that last poor Jaeger over there. He's seen all of his friends die and now he's had enough.
Yeah.
Alright, moving on to my activation. I still have a cannon in play. The cannon is going to try and make it. It's a hard shot, and I don't know if I can make it all the way over here. But we're going to try. We're going to try and aim for the general and his unit. If I hit the general, it will go onto the unit, of course, but I can still aim for him because he's a model in the unit.
Okay.
So that'll give me a direct hit, but since he's part of the unit, the first wounds will go on the infantry.
Okay.
So let's see what happens. Let's roll 4 accuracy dice, plus our standard 8. Might not be enough. We have 10, 13, 14, plus 8.
22.
Turn. Measure from the barrel. Okay, so 22 inches. Not too shabby. Alright, 2d6 bounce. And 3 inches is not going to cut it. They get sprayed with dirt.
Yeah,
but
they get scared.
they're doing pretty good. All right. Anybody left to do regular activations?
I think not.
We think not. All right, so we are going to move straight on to combats.
All right.
So my general, he gets his devastating charge. So he's going to have, let's see, he normally has 1. He's now going to have 4 strikes. He's at +1 to hit. He's going to be hitting on 3s. Okay, and he's going to be wounding on 4s. It's going to be 1 dead. And then we have our pistol shot. Doesn't hit. All right.
Then we have
You have a pile in.
9. Okay. Oh yeah, because you just.
Yeah, it's then you get supporting attacks for each guy who's not in base to base.
Okay.
So for every rank that's not in base to base, you get a supporting attack. So you have 3, 4, 5 attacks.
Okay.
4s and 4s. 3. Should be able to kill him. Nope. Stuck in combat. All right. Let's all try and rally ourselves. I'll try and rally my Württemberg Jaeger.
Okay.
He is turning around and standing on his box.
That's fantastic.
All right. You're going to try and rally your light infantry.
Yes.
5. Nope. They can run 2d6.
I think they might be off the board.
8. Just on.
Oh, okay.
They'll have one more turn to rally. All right. Don Sanchez.
Okay.
He runs 3d6. He's had enough. 12. Putting him back here. Anybody else fleeing? No. This will be the 5th and final turn of the game. It's looking like an Allied victory, but not a complete one. A very messy victory for the Allies. Let's see if we can turn things around a little bit here for the Imperials.
Okay.
11 shots. Muskets.
Starting with the Spanish.
Yes, some Spanish did fight for King Joseph. And at this point, this is a little bit of a historical inaccuracy. This regiment would have been in Russia right now.
Okay.
But they are just kind of a cool unit, which I wanted to showcase. So we're going to say that a company or so remained in Spain.
Right. Well, I think that makes sense.
Joseph's bodyguard. Yeah, the reason that they actually sent them to Russia was so that they wouldn't have to fight in Spain, because they thought that they would desert to their own country.
Their
their loyalties would be to Spain. But they're a cool unit, and they kind of fit into the peninsular theme. So they're going to try and put their last musket shots into here before they start getting chewed down. So 11 aimed, and that's going to be 2 6+ saves for you, milady.
Because I'm in the river.
Because you're behind stuff, yeah.
No, they both fail.
Okay, so now we have a pistol shot on a 5er. Yes, 3s. Yes, one more 6+ save. First time a pistol's done anything this game.
So now I have to do a panic check.
That is a panic check.
Green.
6,
3.
they are broken. All right, on to allied activation.
All right. Okay, so
What's the plan?
the plan is I'm going to use my strategy, my once per game strategy.
Very good.
Called Up and Atom.
What does it do?
So infantry within 6 inches of my general. When declaring a charge, we get to add D3 to the charge, and if the charge is successful, we add +1 to our melee.
All right, great. What's the target?
Okay, so our Spanish here, that's with my general.
Very good.
We're going to declare a charge against your...
Against my general. This is our little assistant here, Sally. Hey, Johnny. Oh,
Who
you
wants to know
cute.
what's going on?
I know. All right, so you get to charge D6 plus D3.
Okay. D6
So 3,
plus
2.
2.
So that's 5 added to their movement of 6.
And he's the general, right? So it's measured from
Yep.
him.
So
11.
it'd be 12. 6 plus 6.
Oh.
So they get to move their full 12.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, that's going to be a successful charge. And then these guys will make it in. Very good. We will move the rest off camera. So we have a very interesting swirling melee developing here. We have an English general, the 95th Rifles, Sharp, Harper, and about 20 or so Spanish regulars holding the banner of the exiled Bourbon family, and they are surrounding my general with 1 wound left. Looks like he's out of luck. All right, but that's the move. It's thematically cool anyway.
It is.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and activate. Okay, so what we've got here is a classic situation of not really being able to win, but I could maybe catch up in points here, and in which case it would be a Pyrrhic victory. So we have no idea how we're going to pull this off. Now there's a few small units here, and remember, each unit destroyed is worth a point. If I can somehow scoop up these last few units, then I can do really well. But the problem is most of my shots are in one blob, and I can't divide them like you can in other games. So I'm going to have to put that entire 20-man unit into this 3-man Grenadier squad because they're the ones who aren't running. So I'm going to put my 18 shots into the 3 Grenadiers. Alright, here we go. Operation Overkill. Hitting on 4s for aim shots.
We're gonna save every one of those, don't you worry.
You're out in the open.
No, see.
Should have dug in.
No, they have special
Dead.
things. No, it doesn't work like
Good volley, lads. Alright, your activation.
Damn it.
You have a cannon. And that's it, that's not running.
Well,
How the tides have turned.
okay. Shooting at your Bonaparte boys.
Alright, what's up, cannon, and what you gonna do? Alright, 5.
Yeah, that's going nowhere.
11 plus 8 is
19.
19 inches. Measure from the barrel.
Well, what'd you do thing?
Here you go. At least you're not going to probably land in the river. So
River.
if 19 inches from the barrel is in front of the river or behind the river, then you can get a bounce.
Bounce.
Okay, so you are here.
Now we get 2 bouncies.
2d6 bounce. You can do it with a good bounce. 4.
I don't think so.
That's probably going to end up like right there.
Into the river.
Alright, so on to Imperial activation. We are going to fire a pistol shot at this officer from my officer. He hits. He kills him. So that takes out a
2
unit.
puntos.
Yeah, I'm catching up fast here, but we still have to do the actual objectives at the end. Alright, so I'm just going to finish up my activations, the last one being the artillery. He's going to try and fire at him. He's going to use 3d6 for his accuracy dice. So 8, 12, 14, 16. Right, good math. So let's see, from the barrel, 16 inches is really, really close. So he's here.
Wow.
And now we're going to bounce and we're going to graze him with 4 inches. That's going to be D3 plus 1. Let's roll high here. It's going to be 4 wounds, enough to kill him. Putting him down. That's another victory point.
I think that means you win the game.
Not yet.
Oh, we have to count all this rubbish.
Well, we still have other things going on. It ain't over till it's over. Alright, so let us continue with combat. We have a choice.
Yes.
So 2 strikes, hitting on 3s because of your saber. Onto my general. 1 hit.
It doesn't matter in this case, but that he gets +1 of the melee also.
I believe so. So 1 hit, and then wounding on 4s. Nope. He also has a pistol. Nope.
It's a 6.
Oh, that is a 6. You gotta wait till it rolls. Alright, wounding on a 3. You got him, general to general.
How many points do I get for that?
2.
Yeah!
So bringing you up to 5.
Come on.
Alright, now we will rally our units and count up the VPs. Alright, so the units that are fleeing on the Allied side, we have this German unit here. Roll a d6 for them, please, and see if they return. 6, no they don't. They are going to be counted as hors de combat, bringing me up to 5. If they're fleeing at the end of the game, we decided they are out.
He decided that just now.
Oh no, we said it at the beginning, we'll check the tape. These guys.
He just decided that.
Roll a d6 for that
He
unit,
never
please.
said that any other time before.
Nope, they are also hors de combat.
He made it up, I promise.
Alright, now we will do the actual objectives themselves. Neither one of us captured a flag. I didn't capture either farmhouse, you didn't capture the windmill. All the major objectives were left uncaptured. You captured 1 ammunition barrel, putting you up to 7. I captured 1 ammunition barrel, putting me up to 7. That, I believe, is our first tied game, but you killed my general.
But we already counted the points for the general.
We already counted the points for the general.
It's a tie.
Sorry. It is. This is our first ever tied game. Awkward handshake. All right, so let's take a look at the board at the end here. So what happened was the Allied right really had a chance early on to sweep and capture their main objective.
I got scared of the cavalry though. I didn't want to advance with the Spanish because I thought then you would just charge me and they wouldn't make it anyways.
Right, but there were a large unit, 20 men with the general plus 2 10-man units of rifles and support. You also had very close supporting artillery which could have canistered them. I was surprised that you didn't act more aggressively on this flank. This flank, all you needed to do was hold, and you just had some bad rolls. If you had just held this flank and you had pushed this flank forward more because you only had one main objective, I had 2.
So you were split.
So I was split. I knew basically early on that I was gonna, if I had a chance of winning, it was gonna be through units destroyed, and lucky dice rolling, and just sort of concentrating my fire. Once again, it sort of came into play where you had a few smaller units than I did.
Right, we had that last couple times.
Yeah,
we did beef up some of them.
We did beef up some of them. There were no more 5-man units.
No,
there were all at least 10.
Well, except the oh, I guess they were 6.
They were 10.
German.
They were 10.
Really, they started.
They started with 10. Yeah. But I had a 10-man unit. I had 2 10-man units. You had 3 or 4. You had 4 10-man units, and those go down a lot quicker and easier. We each had the 5-man cavalry unit, which those always fight so aggressively that by the end of the game they're all gone.
Yeah.
But this is one of the few games where you ended with your general still alive.
Yeah, and you really did a good job by taking out the 95th on the first turn. That would have really put them forward.
You were expecting me to make these guys go away on the first turn because they're just a big unit.
Yeah.
But I wasn't as scared of them. These guys shoot further and much more accurately, and with the Chosen Man, they can do a lot of damage. Harper's gets his D3. Usually turn 1, they wipe out a unit.
If this is your first time seeing any of our videos, you can also go back and check out the other ones. But I made a conversion for Harper if you were into the Richard Sharp series. We also have Sharp somewhere in here.
That's him.
Is that him?
Yeah.
I thought it was this one.
I think that
No,
it has to be the officer.
It is this one.
Yeah, he has his glass
There's
there.
Sharp and Harper.
Yep, they actually make 54mm Sharp and Harper. I think Classic Toy Soldiers makes them or something like that. Tradition Toy Soldiers makes them.
And Harper and Sharp always live.
They always
in
live
our
games, yep, no matter what. So this was a tactically interesting game. For our next Napoleonic games, we might start mixing it up. I have a lot of painted Russians, so we might start doing the Russian campaign and using the rules out of the Chosen Men book for the Prussians, substituting the word Russian for Prussian. Or we might continue in this vein but go on with the invasion of France. So 1813 rolls on into 1814. You have the twin battles of Bayonne, Toulouse. That's where Wellington's army actually makes it into southern France over the Pyrenees Mountains. So very interesting game. Remember to check us out on our website, www.armchairemperor.com. Like and share this video if you enjoyed it. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram as well. Thank you guys very much, and we hope you enjoyed this video. Armchair Emperor signing off.